Hey, how you doing, friends? This is Eric again. Yeah, and I'm gonna do a little bit on part 2 of Number of the Beast, which is first, second, and third verse. We have a lot of ground to cover today. There's a lot of different technical things I want to talk about, a couple of mathematical things and music notation and looking at tab at the same time. So bear with me on it. We're coming off of the intro, and in the first verse there is that one piece where Bruce screams, and then we go into was no use holding back into the verse. And to get that part down, there's just like one thing I want to talk about. So I'm just going to do the last part of the intro. So the way I went into that is like, I came down with my index finger and I brought it on the A string, the D note, 5th fret. The other way you can do that is with an open D string right here, and that will be a little bit easier. Okay, now I have to dampen it too. That's why I put, that's my dampening technique. You can also go here, whichever way is easier. I do it both ways. So you would also have to dampen here by lifting the finger. Damping. Alright? So, whichever way you do it, or with the open, D, D, C, D, whichever is more comfortable for you, and the determining factor will be how quickly you can get from to here, whichever is easier. Okay, so remember though that when you play here, it's a lot thinner, and you won't hear it on the video, but if you sit here next to my amp you would. And this got a more bassy note here because it got a thick mass on your A string, and your D string has a thinner mass. There's probably many other reasons involved in that, but that's one of them. So remember, you can hear the difference. So the first verse, let's get into a little bit of notation. I'm going to try to bring this close enough so you can see it. I wrote it down in tab, not in music notes, because a lot of people can't read music notes. Those who can, that's great. And those who can read music notes know what's going on here. So what we have here is bar lines, and then we've got our measures in between there. So we've got 4 measures. Okay, I'm going to talk about these 4 measures and how they're going to incorporate into the song. But notice that on these measures, you have these little equation signs. They're actually marcatos. Did I say that right? Yeah, marcato. It's a marcato. We're just going to call it an accent for now. It's a common accent. That just means I play that note louder than I play these notes. Okay? So it's broken down. As you can see here, let's get into the math a little bit. And some of you mathematicians and people that are, you know, in college are going to say, duh, Eric, yeah, I know. But there's 16 notes in here. Okay? So you're going on a 4/4 count, and you're playing your D note in each measure 4 times. Here 4, 4, and 4, 16. But your accents are coming a little bit different. So you've got 5 accents in there. So that's kind of like doesn't go into an even number, 16 by 5. And your accent is like on the first of 3 notes. So it's like 3 notes, and then another accent for these 3 notes, an accent on these 3, accent on these 3, and an accent on the last 4. So 3 and 3 and 3 and 3 and 4 is 16, obviously. So the way you're thinking is like your foot might be wanting to go, you know, with the beat, but you're accenting. I tend to want to count it a little differently, so I'll count 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so if I count like that, I'm like 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. So what's all involved in that? All right. First of all, if I play it without accents, what's a little bit because this hand isn't moving, whichever finger you use, I don't care. It could be this one, this one, this one, this one, however you feel comfortable. This hand is what's making it work out. The picking hand, we didn't talk much about the fingering or picking hand or whatever you want to call it. But we will now, and because we have this accenting to worry about. So if I didn't do the accenting, I'd just be alternating my fingers. Again. No accents, applying the same amount of pressure from both fingers when I pluck the strings. If I attack the string, that's my accent, okay? Counting was 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. And now let's get into a little bit about your alternating fingers. Always alternate your fingers, okay? Alternate your fingers. It's like walking. So when you walk, you don't take left step, right step, left step, right step. You know, freaking kill yourself, you know? So why kill yourself here? Just alternating the whole time. Putting the accents in is a little different, okay? You're gonna hit your first accent since it's in 3. You're always gonna be like, you're gonna be going from one finger to the other finger. Your index finger, your middle finger, I am. So I am, equates to 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. Where I raise my voice with the 1, 1, 2, 3. I'm doing the same thing on the bass. I'm raising the voice on my instrument. That must sound great. That's funny, you know. I hope the point comes across there, though. So the first verse, let's get into the verses now that we got that. There's another part in that, and it's going to go. So you're going to play 3 measures of I am, I am, I am, I am, I am, I am, I. So the second part of that, after you play those 3 measures, not measures, I'm sorry, it was actually, that was 4 measures, okay? I misspoke, that was 4 measures, and that we're going to call a hyper measure. Hyper measure, because I'm so hyper. So this is also a hyper measure. A hyper measure of 4 measures, okay? Last note is a rest. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, measures together. First, second, third, fourth. Okay? So you've got 4 hypermeasures in there. And you're going to play those 4 hypermeasures 2 times in the first verse. So, night was black, was no use turning back, 'cause I just had to see what someone watching me. In the night, dark fires are burning bright, the ritual has begun. That's why I don't sing, I kind of like get finger tied, man. So, that's just the same 4 hypermeasures twice, okay? And in the second verse, it's a little different because the first hypermeasure is actually 5 measures long. And the reason for that is and it's the only time it happens in the song, you've got your 2 hypermeasures here, but the first hypermeasure is 5 measures. The second hypermeasure will be 4 measures, okay? And the reason for that is because the first measure of the first hypermeasure is an instrumental measure before the singing starts. In the first verse, he started right away. Night was black, but he's not doing that on the second verse. Bruce is actually starting on the second measure. Torches blaze, and then that's where it goes back into the singing on the second measure. So that's a little bit longer. Torches blazed and sacred chants were raised as I start to cry, hands held to the sky. Dun, dun, dun. You get the idea. And then the second hypermeasure will be the singing starts right away, so it's only 4 measures. Four measures. What am I saying? 4 hypermeasures. Not 4 measures. Each hypermeasure is 4 measures. That was 4 hypermeasures. 5 hypermeasures, 4 hypermeasures. Okay, and then the third verse will be the same as the first verse. It has 4 hypermeasures and 4 hypermeasures. So break that back down again. The first verse is 4 hypermeasures and 4 hypermeasures. Second verse is 5 hypermeasures with the instrumental measure coming on the first hypermeasure, and also, so it's 5/4, and then the third verse is also 4/4. So now I'm going to play those through for you. The first verse. Okay, the second verse with that 1 measure added to it. Torches blaze. Alright, that was a lot of stuff packed in a short video. You're going to have to go back, rewind it. I hope I elaborated enough on this stuff. If I confused anybody anywhere along the line, please go ahead and get in contact with me. Write a comment, leave me a message, whatever. Make sure to read the description of the video. I will put a few notes in there as well about what we're going to cover. And until next time, when we start looking at the chorus, after we get into part 4, we'll start going into the solo. That's where things really start picking up and are going to be a lot of fun. So master this one. If you already have it mastered, great. If not, get it down before you go to part 3. Alright? Have a good day. Thanks for listening, man.